Okay, welcome and hello. Thank you for joining us today. So we're going to be talking about the amazing power of Fucoiden. And if you're watching the recording, thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch the recording. And no matter where you are in the world, what time or day or night, we appreciate you getting on the call or watching the recording. So I've got the lovely Ian Chabelle with me this afternoon, and Ian's really passionate about the topic, as am I, of Fucoiden. This is an amazing ingredient that is well worth learning as much as you can about, because it can have amazing benefits for yourself, your family members and friends. And that's the topic we want to talk on today. So Ian's also got a background in, science and an engineering science, and is very interested in nutrition. He was with Tom's previous company and actually had a big team there and helped a lot of people with the nutritional products then. And I've recently completed my qualification as a nutrition and health coach. And so just love sharing lifestyle changes and information about health that can really help and benefit you. So we're going to start the slideshow today. And we might be missing a few people. It may be that they've got on, if Kurt sent out his link, Ian, instead of mine, that may be the case there. Do you want to say a quick hello?
Hi, Katie. Thanks for the introduction. That was fantastic. Yeah, it's truly a very passionate subject. I take it every day, so it's an amazing product, and the things that it can do for you are also very amazing. So as we go through the slides today, I think we'll find out what we're talking about.
Yeah, fantastic. So we are talking about the ingredient Fucoiden, Fucoidan, and this particular ingredient that we're talking about the one that comes from Limimu seaweeds. First, a disclaimer here that we're not intending to treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease or illness. The information has not been evaluated by the FDA. We're not talking specifically about any products. We are sharing information and research on the ingredient Fucoiden, so you can go away and find out for yourself if this is something you want to look into or do further research into, and you can always get back to the person that shares this information with you. If you are unwell, please do consult a qualified healthcare professional. And, if you're wanting to take an ingredient such as Fucoiden, it's a good idea to check with them as well. So, Ian, I'll hand over the first slide to you.
Okay. First of all, we need to understand a little bit about what is Fucoiden. And we're not going to get too much into the really chemistry of it, but we're going to give you an overview of it, which is, Fucoiden is a natural substance, and it's found in the cell walls of certain kinds of seaweed, brown seaweed, and the particular one we're talking about today is Limu Maui. It's one of the seaweeds that is extremely pristine. It has no pollutants, and remarkably, it's one of the most powerful sulfates that are around. So the other thing is that what does Fucoiden do for the body? So in essence here, the health benefits of Fucoiden extract and reveal a phenomenal variety of actions. They include protection, and this is really important, from viral infections, blood clots, osteoarthritis, kidney and liver diseases, chemotherapy and radiotherapy damage. Now we'll expand a bit of that as we go through in the next slides. Thanks, Katie.
Awesome. And so you can see the reference here. So we're putting references on everything where we're getting the information from. So that's from a PubMed study, and the article reference is at the bottom of the slide that you can see there. So as Ian mentioned, that Fucoiden refers to a group of highly complex polysaccharides. So these are all really kind of fancy words, but what does that mean? It means it's simple sugars that are linked together in a special matrix. And it also, a key component of Fucoiden is sulfate. So scientists refer to Fucoiden as a sulfonated polysaccharide. So sulfonated polysaccharides have a lot of benefits, when we're going to get into the amazing benefits of this. And it has drawn a lot of scientific attention because it occurs widely on cell surfaces in humans and other mammals, in plants, insects, kelp, and mushrooms. So the activity of fucoiden in animals are at least partially due to the role of fucose in cell communication. So quite a bit of science there. So what do you really need to know from that? That it's really a polysaccharide and the sulfonated component of it. So we're going to touch on more on how that's relevant. So Ian, I'll hand this slide to you.
Okay, so one of the things that's really important in our body is that things called stem cells. And these stem cells, as we can see from the slide, have the ability to transform into different kinds of cells. For example, if you cut yourself, and the process of healing is due to the various kinds of cells, of the stem cells. So we rely on stem cells to replace cells that we lose from aging and other sources of cellular damage, like getting a cut finger or something like that. Fucoiden is known as a highly effective stem cell mobilizer, so it's able to move stem cells into areas that are required. This means that it acts to help move stem cells to where they are needed for cellular replacement. In addition, Fucoiden has been shown to amplify populations of certain kinds of stem cells to go where they're needed. Thanks, Katie.
Fantastic.
And there's also a PubMed reference there.
Yep, at the bottom. So that's where the information's come from. Yeah, so boosting stem cells due to damage from chemotherapy and radiotherapy is now under study for its use in recovery from cancer treatments. This is really, really important area. And this is just one aspect of potential clinical value of fucoiden, the ingredient. In addition, it has been shown to rescue aging stem cells that are important for rebuilding the inner walls of damaged blood vessels. So this happens when someone, obviously goes through chemotherapy and radiotherapy. The cells, good and bad cells, get damaged. Obviously, they want to kill off all the bad cells, but in the process, the healthy cells get attacked as well. And, fucoiden has shown in some studies to provide tremendous benefit there. So this is something really worth keeping in mind and keeping that in the back of your mind, because this is the sort of information that you could share with someone that could really make a big difference to them. And you can check the reference there at the bottom from PubMed.
Yeah, this one is the power of fucoiden. We're going to look at the power of fucoiden centers around the potent and healthy benefits of a fucoiden found in Limu Maui. Now, we were talking about Limu Maui. It's a specific type of seaweed that's found off the Tongan coast, and it's as I said, it's a pristine, non-polluted type stuff. So it's actually very, very pure. The Powerpack super nutrient has been used for centuries in Tonga, in Japan, and other areas of the Southeast seas because of its ability to increase well-being and to regenerate healthy cells.
Yeah, incredible. So fucoiden and cancer. So recent research shows that fucoiden does indeed have multiple effects against various kinds of cancers. This is according to the studies that have been done and are available on PubMed. The reference is down the bottom. So one of the activity of fucoiden is to help regulate key molecules that drive the destruction of tumor cells. And another is fucoiden's ability to slow down the formation of vascular tissue that feeds tumor growth. And as mentioned before, fucoiden acts as an adjunct that synergizes with anti-cancer chemotherapy agents. This is a key property that makes chemotherapy more effective at lower dosages, thereby reducing its toxic effects. And there's studies on PubMed there showing that when it was administered in conjunction with the traditional the chemotherapy treatments, the effect was much greater and less side effects, which is really just incredible. So again, that's sort of coming back to using the best of both worlds, the best of science and nature, and combining both types of, natural and traditional medical treatments. And of course, as I mentioned before, if you are unwell or if you are suffering from cancer or any other illness, please do consult with your doctor.
This is some of the amazing powers of fucoiden, and in this particular case here, fucoiden induces apoptosis, which destroys cancer cells by themselves. I'll just read this because the human body is made up of almost 60 trillion cells. The cells produce new cells by metabolism, and old cells die, and that's the apoptosis. It consists of this cycle, but unfortunately, cancer cells do not apply to this regular cycle. Cancer cells seldom die, but they multiply and metastasize. So here we've got Fucoiden has a function to let cancer cells die by themselves. Fucoiden taken into the body presses the suicide switch of cancer cells when it is in touch with them. So those cancer cells die out. And from the diagram on the side there, you can see that we have a cancer cell and we have Fucoiden, and it's pressing the particular suicide switch.
Yeah. And so that,
sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say that information is from the book, which we'll share a bit later on the presentation. So yeah, you can go back and reference the book as well as where this information has come from. Yep, go on.
Fucoiden, this is number 2. Fucoiden removes Helicobacter, the Helicobacter pylori, which is a stomach bacteria, and it causes stomach ulcers and stomach cancer. So Helicobacter pylori is a bacteria which lives in the stomach of human beings. A recent study has revealed that Helicobacter pylori causes stomach ulcers, stomach cancer, and duodenal ulcers. As Helicobacter pylori creeps in under the mucus of the stomach, it resides in the stomach all along unless there is a strong pylori eradication. Helicobacter pylori.
Go to the word. Yeah.
Has to its own nature sticking to the sulfates. What we're talking about here is because Fucoiden is a sulfated molecule, that this bacteria will adhere to the sulfate molecule of the Fucoiden. So then it's discharged from the body while it sticks to the Fucoiden, because Fucoiden contains an abundance of sulfate groups. So stomach cancer has the highest number of medical cases among cancers. Fucoiden could be always a big help to care for your stomach. I think Katie mentioned a reference.
Yeah, so the reference is from the book, and we'll share that in the next few slides. So if you want to find this information, you can go there, and it is written by a doctor, this book. So we've got the next point here, which is point 3. Do you want to go through that one, Ian?
Yeah, sure. This one's it's the self-healing power of the human body. This is a natural healing ability which cures bad health is originally in the human body. So we've got our own immune system, which has the ability to, in almost all cases, to eradicate any abnormal cell structures. However, it's said that cancer, allergy, and life-related diseases are increasing since modern humans have a weak ability, and this is because we have to fight toxins and different things in our lifestyle. A lymphocyte called NK, which stands for natural killer cell, which always remains in existence in the human body and fight against cancer cell or cell infected with bacteria. NK or natural killer cells recognize Fucoiden as a toxin. In this case, it looks at as a foreign object.
Yeah, fantastic.
Fucoiden as a toxin substance in human body, a lymphocyte activates more. So defense and immunity can be improved with immunity. When immunity improves, many diseases are suppressed and natural human healing power is strengthened. So as a result, a probability of developing the disease becomes lower. The power of Fucoiden can assist you to build up your body. So what we're saying here is that Fucoiden actually activates the NK cells, and so against any runaway cells or any cells that look like they're going to cause any challenges.
Yeah.
And on the diagram on the right there, you can see that Fucoiden has actually given the natural killer cells a bit of a push, and so it ends up attaching to the cancer cells and eventually eradicating them.
Yeah, fantastic. And so this reference is from The Amazing Power of Fucoidan, published 2016. It's available on Amazon, this book, and it's by Daisuke Tachikawa. It's a Japanese gentleman, a doctor, I believe, and Yeah, so you can purchase that book online to find out more. So we've also got lots of anti-aging benefits of Fucoiden as well. So it's found that Fucoiden does play a role in activating key enzymes that influence lifespan. So we've heard about the sirtuin genes with the ingredient resveratrol, which we touched on last week. Over sirtuin 6, which is one of the 7 sirtuin enzymes that influence a wide range of cellular processes in humans. This particular sirtuin 6 is important because it controls healthy aging and regulating genome stability, so your DNA, oxidative stress, and glucose metabolism. It also shows as a promising target for age-related diseases, the sirtuin gene does, chronic inflammation, metabolic syndrome, obesity, and insulin resistance type 2 diabetes. So there's lots of potential benefits there. And actually, Ian was fascinated to find out it's the only polysaccharide at this time that is known to stimulate the sirtuin 6 gene. So further research is needed, and how it could also impact on other sirtuins. So there's a PubMed reference at the bottom, so you can check that out. If you're watching the recording, you can pause it and copy that down with a pen and paper if you want to go check that out. Now we're just up to this part here, which is talking about the studies that we've been referring to, and there are many, many other studies. There's over 2,600 scientific studies on PubMed, and many have shown the powerful nutritional supporting properties of Fucoiden from the limimu seaweed. That's where it comes from. So people who have regular Fucoiden in their diets may enjoy substantial advantages of good health. So I've just added in a few extra slides here, just so you can see that if you go to PubMed, if you go to pubmed.gov, it'll automatically redirect to this URL here, which is ncbi.mlm.nih.gov. But anyway, if you just remember pubmed.gov, and you can go on there and you can check out the ingredient Fucoiden, Fucoidan, and all these great studies come up on this. So you can see here, just looking at some of the titles, anti-inflammatory activity of Fucoiden extracts in vitro, got immunomodularity and anti-inflammatory effects of Fucoiden, a review, Fucoiden and lung function, value in viral infections, protective effects of Fucoiden against kidney diseases, Fucoiden as a potential therapeutic for major blinding diseases, Fucoiden and its application as building blocks of nutraceutical delivery systems. So there's just thousands of studies, as I said, over 2,600. So do go on there, have a look if you are that type of person that wants more information, but you can see there's lots of scientific research behind this ingredient. So if we just summarize here today, so Fucoiden provides the cellular nutrition your body needs to keep cells healthy, and helps them regenerate at a much better rate than the unhealthy ones, healthy cells. Fucoiden helps your immune system. It can help your immune system to operate at peak performance levels. It can help with digestion. A shot of Fucoiden after meals can help digestive system work better and more effectively and efficiently. Fucoiden supports healthier, happier lives. The ingredient combined to help your liver function at its best. Fucoiden's base is limimu and the superfood of the sea. Scientific studies have proven the nutritional value of this sea vegetable and its nutritional elements. So the islanders have loved it for centuries. This is the book, Amazing Fucoidan, the collected stories by people who have been revived with Fucoiden. So do check that out. Here's one testimonial from the book. Since I started taking Fucoidan, I've noticed more mobility in my joints, more endurance and less discomfort. After riding my bike for long periods of time, I'm sleeping better. I mentally feel stronger. I highly recommend this product for its regenerative properties, and I love the fact that it's backed by significant science and research. And here's another testimonial from the book. So a support of my health is now Fucoidan, a natural constitute that is my determination after going through a major operation and a struggle with cancers. So this book was translated from Japanese to English, and that's a well-known TV personality. It's always tricky pronouncing the name sometimes, Yashiko Takumuku. Perhaps it's incorrect, but you can read that for yourself. So yeah, another great testimonial. So in summary from the book, The Amazing Fucoidan, the book, Fucoidan is the ocean's gift of health and what doctors are saying about it. So Fucoidan contains the same type of antibodies found in mother's milk. So often Fucoiden is referred to as mother's milk. So it contains the same type of antibodies found in mother's milk in the first week. That was from a prominent Japanese researcher. Anyone who is on prescription medication, eats poorly, has stress, or just wants to feel better should be taking Fucoiden. He is unwavering in his belief that everyone breathing should be taking it. Dr. De Silva, MD, JFK Medical Center researcher. And there are so many supplements that can impact individual systems, but I've never seen a single supplement that can have an effect on so many different systems at once. And that's from Dr. Ron Schuler. So just incredible information. So now you might be asking, well, this is all great. I love the information you've shared on this ingredient Fucoiden, and I can see there's a lot of research on it. How would I go about finding the best type of Fucoiden? So you'd want to find a company that uses a process to sulfonate all 8 molecules of the Fucoiden. This makes it more effective and concentrated and bioavailable. Most Fucoiden breeds only have one of the 8 molecules. You want to find a manufacturer that uses a sulfonated process, such as a Limimu spray dryer, and a manufacturer that uses concentrated extracts of seaweed that contains all 3 types of Fucoiden, U, F, and G, because this makes for an amazing supplement and helps with the taste and obviously helps you to feel great. And also, we talked about where the seaweed comes from. So Tonga is a really rich source of Fucoiden, or the seaweed, which contains the Fucoiden, and it's contaminant free. I don't think you could say every single place on the planet is contaminant free now, because our planet is, has had pollution and over the years, but particularly Tonga is pretty free from contamination. So that's really important, because we don't want to be taking in extra toxins in the ingredients. And of course, you would like it to be affordable so that, you can consume it daily. And if you need to or want to consume, higher dosages of the Fucoiden, then you would be able to afford that. So that's really important. So I want to thank Ian today for assisting with the presentation, and thank everyone for watching the recording. And if you'd like more information, please do get back to the person that shared this information with you, and they can help you out there. So thank you, Ian.
Thanks, Katie. Fantastic.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day.